This is the Washington Times front page for Tuesday, December 19th, 2023. Thanks for joining us. I'm George Gerbo. Texas Governor Greg Abbott has signed a bill making illegal immigration a state crime in a bid to give police and National Guard troops more power. Stephen Dinan reports the Republican justified the action by citing a section of the U.S. Constitution that gives states the power to repel an invasion if the federal government doesn't act. Abbott says he expects the law to be used chiefly by police who watch people sneak across the southern U.S. border. Immigrant rights groups say the new law will lead to racial profiling of state residents. Pope Francis has approved letting priests bless same-sex couples. Mark Kellner reports the Vatican says such blessings would not rise to the level of church-sanctioned same-sex marriages, but would offer gay Catholics the opportunity to receive a blessing without being subjected to an exhaustive moral analysis. The question of how same-sex couples should be treated within the Catholic faith has become increasingly prominent. Bishops and priests in Germany have taken steps to bless same-sex couples without Vatican approval. The directive comes less than 3 months after a papal letter said such blessings were possible, so long as they do not transmit a wrong conception of marriage. An unusually large number of K-12 principals have quit their jobs as schools struggle with teacher burnout, student learning loss, and staff shortages. Sean Saylor reports the most recent estimates from the National Center for Education Statistics show that 1 in 5 principals stepped down between the 2020-2021 and 2021-2022 academic years. Besides those who moved to other campuses or administrative roles, 11.2% of public school principals and 9.7% of private school principals left education entirely. The National Association of Elementary School Principals says another 70% of K-8 principals plan to leave within the next 3 years, and rural and urban public schools with significant teacher shortages and limited budgets are expected to take the biggest hits. A survey has discovered that 21% of voters who used mail-in ballots in the 2020 presidential election admitted to filling out a ballot in part or in full for a friend or family member. Those numbers come from a survey by Rasmussen Reports and the conservative Heartland Institute, Mallory Wilson reports. The survey also found that 17% of mail-in voters said they voted in a state where they no longer lived permanently, and another 17% said they signed a ballot or ballot envelope for a friend or family member. Both acts are fraudulent use of the ballots and would invalidate them if someone was caught doing so. And finally, North Korea's test firing of its latest intercontinental ballistic missile early Monday drew attention across Asia. Andrew Salmon reports questions were raised over whether the launch sent a political message or whether the intent was an upgrading of North Korea's weapons engineering skills. The test was conducted a day after the USS Missouri submarine arrived in South Korea. Find all of today's front page stories at WashingtonTimes.com/front page or on the Washington Times app, and find us wherever you get your podcasts. Just search Washington Times in any major podcast app. You can also find us on social media at Wash Times for breaking news, sports, commentary, and more. For the Washington Times, I'm George Gerbo.